top to bottom. I thought all three phases coming into the game, I thought they were solid. They were. They were who we thought they were. The reigning Offensive Player of the Year in the conference, Jacob Huseman, I thought he had a great day. Did a good job with the veteran offense. Efficient in the way he ran it. Defensively, very, very solid front. Very talented. A lot of guys have been starting for 2 or 3 years, so just a very good football team, and we did not play up to our expectations, and thus resulted in not a great day for us. So that being said, we moved on, just like we always do, win or lose. I've challenged the kids that the way we played Saturday is not the way I expect us to play. It is not the way I believe the game is meant to be played. It is not the way a football team that I coach is going to play, and it's completely unacceptable. I think that's enough about that. But I've told them what I expect. They'll be driven firmly home throughout the week this week. I expect us to go up to Color Week, and I expect us to play with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of intensity. I expect us to compete, and then we'll find out who's good enough. We'll find out who the best team is at the end of the day. So that's the way we'll approach it. That being said, the guys are focused firmly on the Western Carolina game plan and preparing for practice this afternoon, and I felt like that was best for them to all be there. So you guys just have to deal with just me today. So, any questions about the game Saturday or the upcoming game against Western Carolina?
Coach, what do you think has been the reason Western has seemingly turned things around?
Well, it's not been a fast process. Mark Spear, when he got there, he inherited a roster that was not very athletic. Mark's a friend of mine, and he inherited a roster that was not very athletic. He inherited a roster that had some problems, and it took a couple of years to transition the roster he inherited and start bringing in young players that he recruited, he could build. And what you're seeing is the bulk of those players have been starting now for 2 or 3 years. For example, the quarterback, Troy Mitchell, quarterback, Darius Ramsey, the receiver, Spearman Robinson, offensive lineman, defensive lineman. You go across the board. Most of those guys have been there for several years and played when they were young, and it was not very pretty. But they've stuck to their guns, they've stuck to the course, they've kept doing what they do, and they've been patient with the development of their program, and it's paying off. I think they had a good start to the season with South Florida. Then they had good solid wins over Brevard College and Catawba College. They followed that up with solid SoCon wins against Furman and Wofford. They had a big win last Saturday down at Mercer. They had a bump in the road against Presbyterian, a game that I'm sure they feel like they should have won there. But overall, this has been something that's been building for the entire extent of Mark's career.
Mitchell,
I'm
sorry.
Are you anticipating any change in personnel, offensively or defensively, other than through injury?
Yeah, probably will. I'm going to play guys. I'm going to play guys I can trust. I'm going to play guys that we can all trust. What'd you say, Mike?
What has been wrong with Mitchell? He's been banged up a bit. Their quarterback. What's been his situation?
He has a partially torn labrum. Is the word I got, and you can see it happen in the PC game. He was sacked, very hard, tackled the ground, and they brought in their backup quarterback, Garrett Brown, who's a very, very talented player in his own. He's just different, a very, very good runner, and you'll see him play on Saturday. They play both quarterbacks, and then Garrett will return punts some, he'll play receiver some, they thought that Troy was going to be out for the entire season. He played the very next week. He's gotten better and better, which means probably either they're doing a better job of managing the pain or he's healing some. He played very well Saturday against Mercer, so I expect to see him at full strength Saturday.
What can you divulge about injuries you've sustained and where guys that were injured stand at this point?
Well, Jake and Dalton will both be out this week. Unfortunately, Dalton, I didn't talk about this last week, Dalton tore his meniscus against UNC Charlotte in his knee sometime during the game. Played through, pretty painful stuff to finish the game. He's going to have it scoped tomorrow. He may make it back for the last couple of games of the year. We'll see how he goes. I hate it for him because he's such a great kid. Obviously, he was a big boost to our offense there against UNC Charlotte. But it's what's best for Dalton. Jake is at the point now where it's just a matter of time before he returns. I don't anticipate him playing Saturday, but beyond that, everybody else is kind of in the air. We've got a few others that may or may not play Saturday. We'll just see how the week goes.
Will you walk through the Carson Smith situation and what the next steps are with that? I heard you on the call this morning, so.
Well, second drive of the game, just to kind of recap for everybody, and anybody that's watching on TV or saw the replays, you saw what happened. Second drive of the game, it's an inside zone wind back, so the tailback brings out the back door. Carson's the one that fits him up. The 2 or 3 Citadel defenders have him held up. Carson has a firm grasp on the football and is trying to rip it out. Takes 2 hard rips at the football with his right arm while he has the ball carrier wrapped with his left arm. He then takes his right arm and uppercut punches at the ball from behind, which is a technique that's used all throughout the country at every level from Little League all the way through the pros. The umpire deemed that he was punching the ball carrier instead of the ball, and he flagged it as unsportsmanlike conduct and ejected Carson from the game. In the Southern Conference, that carries with it an additional 1-game suspension for any ejection. Video review, everybody on the field from the referee to myself, everyone that's looked at it understands exactly what's happening. It's a football play. There's no ill intent. There was no hostility. It was a young man performing a fundamental that is part of the game. If we're going to start ejecting people for stuff like that, then we better prepare ourselves for a rash of ejections that, all across the country, an epidemic. The thing that bothers me about it is even if they felt like that was the proper call at that point, I see no way that a 2-game suspension for trying to punch a ball out is something that's just and right. And that's my problem with it. The way the rules of the Southern Conference are with the additional game suspension rule, the commissioner has told me he has no leeway to overturn the suspension. There is one appeal, which we are pursuing, which is we are appealing to the executive committee, which is made up of the faculty athletic representatives from all member institutions. Our faculty athletic representative, Chip Taylor, will abstain from the appeal. Athletic director Jim Center will be on a conference call this afternoon. We have provided the conference with video. We are trying to get the ESPN3 footage, to the conference for them to use to show to the faculty athletic representatives, because I think that's a very clean look at the play, and you can see obviously what is happening. It's my hope that they will overturn the suspension, but there's not a precedence where they've done that in the past.